They say that behind every great fortune there is a crime. Well, get ready to see just how true that can be. The year was 2016 when it all went down. The time was just before the weekend when the markets were about to close for the big holidays. It was the perfect opportunity for a massive hack. At the center of this storm was a man known only as GhostFox. No one knew his real name or where he lived. All they knew was that he was a former software engineer with a brilliant mind and a heart full of grudges. You see, GhostFox used to work at a prestigious fintech company, but during a harsh economic downturn, he got laid off. And, as they say, a broken heart can make a body do crazy things. So he did something nobody saw coming. He decided to take down the very institutions that had thrown him out. He meticulously planned a 3-part attack that would send shockwaves through the entire financial world. In the first phase, he targeted Wall Street's exclusive private data exchanges. These were places where the big players, the hedge funds, and the investment banks gathered to exchange sensitive information and make critical trading decisions. It was here that GhostFox made his move. With a combination of social engineering, phishing attacks, and zero-day exploits, he infiltrated these exchanges undetected. It was like sneaking into a heavily guarded fortress without so much as breaking a window. His entry point was through the employees. Using spear phishing emails, he compromised their accounts and created backdoors into the systems. He moved like a phantom slipping through the digital shadows, leaving no trace of his presence. With the backdoors established, he set his sights on the second stage of his plan. Once inside, he used a malware program called Ghost Flag to siphon off small amounts of money from each trade, almost impossible to detect. It was like robbing a bank, but instead of walking into a building, he was sitting in a dark room in front of his computer. The third stage of his plan was the grand finale. Over a weekend when the markets were closed, he manipulated high-frequency trading algorithms to skim a few cents from thousands of trades. This was the climax of his elaborate scheme, a grand theft auto on Wall Street. As the markets opened on Monday morning, the extent of the damage became clear. Traders noticed that some of the largest banks in the world were reporting losses. Hedge funds realized that they had been secretly drained of millions. The shockwaves sent tremors through the entire financial district. As panic spread, a task force was assembled, a joint effort between Wall Street heavyweights and law enforcement. The FBI, along with specialists from DARPA and Microsoft, joined forces to hunt down the mastermind behind the attack. It was like putting together a dream team for a high-stakes game. Every second that ticked by, more money was lost. The pressure was immense. Meanwhile, GhostFox watched from the sidelines as chaos unfolded. He saw the frantic news reports, the urgent press conferences, and the finger-pointing among the financial giants. A ghost was watching the horror he had created, relishing the fear and confusion he had sown. As the investigation deepened, the digital detectives closed in on GhostFox's trail. They traced the flow of stolen funds and followed the digital breadcrumbs he had left behind. It was like watching a cat-and-mouse game unfolding in real time. And then there was a breakthrough. One of the most respected names in cybersecurity, Joe Stewart, stumbled upon an encrypted cache of files. Within this secret trove, they found the smoking gun, irrefutable proof of GhostFox's crimes. He had literally left his fingerprints all over the virtual battlefield. Cornered and desperate, GhostFox attempted a final act of sabotage. He knew the game was up, so in a last-ditch effort to escape justice, he tried to cover his tracks. Servers were wiped, backups encrypted, and hard drives destroyed. It was like trying to erase a digital ghost. But, in a fatal miscalculation, he overlooked one crucial device, his old smartphone. It was lying forgotten in a drawer, holding the key to his entire criminal empire. When the authorities finally got their hands on that phone, they found evidence of everything he had done. It was like having the criminal mastermind himself confess to the crime. And with that, the game was over. The arrest of GhostFox sent shockwaves through the tech community. His capture was splashed across headlines, debated on news channels, and discussed in hushed tones in cybersecurity circles. He became a symbol of both brilliance and desperation, a reminder of the fine line between genius and madness. So, what happened to him? After a dramatic trial that played out in the public sphere, GhostFox was found guilty on all counts. Sentenced to 25 years in a federal prison, he sat in solitary confinement. There, stripped of his digital prowess, he was just another inmate. His life of luxury was over. In its place, a stark reality of prison walls and bars. This isn't just a story about a brilliant hack. It's a story about ambition, revenge, and the dark side of the digital age. It shows us that even in the vastness of cyberspace, justice has a way of catching up. If you liked this story, stay tuned for more. And remember, in the high-stakes game of cybercrime, the house always wins.